Hey, what's going on? It's Mando Crusader, and welcome to episode 27 of Sunless Skies. Last episode, we went through the Empyrean, found out what was going on over there, found the Xanthus moon as well, which was pretty cool, and ended up here at Achlys. Today we're going to be going through that, and maybe doing a little more exploration if we have time, because if I'm remembering, this port has a lot to do in it. So, that's what we're going to be doing. Before we get to that, just to mention that if you enjoy this content, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Additionally, be sure to comment below. Just anything you want, really. So, yeah. Achlys. Let's see what's going on here. Arrival in Achlys. You disembark onto a soggy wooden platform, barely supported by the marsh mud below. It leads past several squalid huts and the hulls of scavenged engines to the warmth of a marketplace on wooden stilts. Nearby, what remains of an ancient monastery just holds on against the ravages of time and the swampy grounds below. Enter the port. Something is going down on the other side of the monastery. Fire flickers. Treachery carries on the wind. Sabotage. A woman smoking a cigarette watches from the shadows, unaware of your presence, as a group of grizzled skyfarers attempt to force the monastery's doors. Unlike the crumbling stone, these are made of solid new metal, and more than up to the task of repelling the attack. However, with every blow against them, the monastery itself seems to shudder. Dust rains from high up, stones creak. It will not take much before something gives. You can intervene or stay back. See, this simply is not your problem. Or, it may not be your problem, but you can make it your fight. Ah, what could go wrong? Let's intervene. It's a bunch of other skyfarers. May as well join the crowd, right? You summon a few of your crew with a wave back to the locomotive. Before you can join the attack, however, Hojo Toho! Hojo Toho! The war cry echoes through the march. Urchins, ring breakers from old London from the look of them, surge at the attackers, armed with broomsticks with sharp objects taped on the end, colander helmets, and cardboard armor. In the name of the Valkyrie, they shout, launching their attack. For Sigrid. They swiftly rout the attackers. The woman with the cigarette is long gone, leaving behind nothing but the smell of expensive ash. Alright then. Well, that was interesting. Let's first, as always, compile a port report. This is a small place. It won't take long. In search of Midnight's favor. Everything here seems to revolve around tea and spice, and a special blend made in the monastery that nobody you speak to appears to have tasted. We are not worthy of Midnight's favor, they all tell you through unsmiling faces, before offering you a special deal on some other blend or incense that they just happen to have. Right, let's visit the Court of Tea and Spices. The bulk of the market is devoted to brews and incense, and the almost priceless Midnight's favor. Every breeze carries a different scent. Clouds of rich scents hang in the air. Though the market is small, it is bustling with both London and native Eleutherian traders. Each cramped stall and barrow is piled high with the region's finest tea leaves, opiates, salts, and spices. That second one is, mildly concerning, to say the least. But, I guess we're going to go with it. Visit the tea barrows. Many of the spice merchants have tattoos on their left cheek, denoting what they sell. The Londoners present have yet to adopt the tradition. Endless varieties. Although this port is mostly famed for its homegrown Midnight's Favor, it is quickly becoming a trade hub for every flavor and blend of tea you could possibly wish for. Customers don't brew them, but bite into the leaves, and lick samples off their fingers. Oh, given recent events, that's highly concerning. Ask about Midnight's Favor. Stories say it is blacker than night and tastes even deeper. The rarest of delicacies. Your enquiries draw little but averted eyes and apologies that they are not worthy of Midnight's Favor. The select few who trade in it consider it far too precious to simply sell. Visit Murgold's Taste of Albion. Albion. Even out here, you can get a mug of Murgatory, of her finest. Although one of the more professional-looking barrows in the market, the alright, we're going in. Murgatroyd family's specialty blends have gained little traction. Proprietress Amberly Murgatroyd glares at you from behind a slender cigarette holder, twitching at the inconvenience of your presence. Speak with her. There aren't many fellow Albioners this far into Eleutheria. A short chat. Are you here to buy? Amberly glances around, looking for a distraction. If you're not here to buy, I don't know why you're here. Unless... She sizes you up. Perhaps. That sounds like an opportunity in the offing. Ooh. An opportunity, you say? Amberly lights a fresh cigarette. I'm sure you've heard of Midnight's Favor. It's all anyone wants around here. Well, I have plans to deal with that. Were you to assist me when the moment presents itself, well, I would be most grateful, in a most profitable way for us both. Okay. Ask about Midnight's Favor. Even if it is the competition, she must know about it. A sore spot. Oh, we are not worthy of Midnight's Favor. Amberly snaps, her tone suggesting that she's parodying someone else. Haven't touched the stuff. Can't wait to get back to Albion and never hear about it again. When I'm running the business, she catches herself. Well, I'll have my sights set rather higher than beverages. Ask about Sigrid and the urchins. The urchins seem young to be in a position of authority. Fingers squeezed white around a cigarette holder. That little scrot and her infernal playmates. Amberly shakes her head. I'd blame the parents if she'd had any. No discipline. A few damn good spankings never did me any harm. Yikes. Today's youth could do with getting to know the back end of a slipper. Just look at my sister, Millicent. Nailed it. Also, yikes. Inquire about the family business. The Murgatroyd Company is known for more than tea and crackers. There is little you cannot learn at their salons for the right price. A more specialized branch of the family tree. Amberly looks at you with disdain. Oh, please. Even if I had time for Father's Spymaster games, how much do you think one over here is on the edge of nowhere? She takes a long, pointed drag from her cigarette. Honestly, if you must waste someone's time with such nonsense, go annoy my sister, Millicent. I think we stashed her somewhere in the Reach. Her and her ridiculous inventions. Yes, I'm sure she's nothing better to do than listen to you. That's the, wing of this in Lustrum, by the way. So that's what she's referring to. You can purchase a caddy of tea, which you're not going to do. We're going to return to the market. And we're going to return to the market again, because that's all we can do over... no. Wait. Yes, okay, we're in the right place. I was a little disoriented there for a second. Right, enter the House of Silks. A sleepy warmth oozes through the curtains. Admission is free. What waits inside is negotiable. The curtains part with a sickly sweet breath of incense. Velvet wraps inside of the hut like a fine chocolate box, with silk curtains delicately hanging down to provide translucent privacy for guests. Behind the shadows of wealthy traders lie in the embrace of soft, well-plumped cushions, gently sipping from bronze hookah pipes until their eyes and troubles are somewhere else entirely. Well, first and foremost, present the seal of Mr. Barleycorn to Mr. Pipes. This should get the master of the house's attention. This is one of the curators that we need to find for that quest we picked up at the House of Rods and Chains. A moment's silence. A serving girl takes the wax seal to her snoozing master and whispers something into its cloak. A moment passes and she returns with a certain amount of trepidation. My master trusts that this is what you require. May it do you some good, or at least no harm. Alright, we have gotten the seal of Mr. Pipes. Let's request an audience with Mr. Pipes. The hooded proprietor keeps to itself at the back of the house. A particularly large hookah pipe delivers smoke into the darkness of its cloak. A gramophone besides it quietly plays a Bach concerto. An apologetic refusal. A serving boy returns, bowing apologetically. Mr. Pipes is relaxing and has no interest in either chitter or chatter. If you have business, you may present it to one of the staff. Otherwise, his master encouraged you to avail yourself of the facilities. Alright. Well, let's ask about Midnight's Favor. A place like this should have the specialty of the port. With deepest apologies. The serving girl shakes her head. We are not worthy of Midnight's Favor. Perhaps, in the distance, her cloaked master raises an arm, or at least a sleeve. Just a little. A summons. Excuse me, please. You know, I'm starting to get why Amberly was a bit angry at hearing that phrase all the time. It's getting a little annoying because I want to know what this is. Visit the Vigilant Nightingale. An old, mostly picked-apart locomotive acts as the ring-breaker urchin's kip and base of operations. Two of them guard it sleepily. Hold! One of the urchins jabs at you with her weapon, a broomstick with a knife on the end. Friend or foe? Just push past. They can't be more than 9 years old. Oh, we're a friend! Delivered with an encouraging smile. I'm smiling right now. You can't see because there's no camera, but just imagine a big toothy grin. The urchins salute. Good, good. Enter, friend. This broken down engine has been comprehensively gutted to serve as the ring breaker's home and base. Filthy hammocks stretch between metal bars. Most full of snoring urchins. Others sit around, decorating tea tray armor with bright paints or sparring playfully with wooden sticks. Visit the captain's cabin. The door leads to one of the few rooms that hasn't been gutted. A series of names have been scratched onto it and then scratched out. The only one still readable says Sigrid. Knock, knock. Enter, barks a high-pitched voice. Sigrid Spite's daughter. Valkyrie of the Ringbreakers, and the closest thing this port has to law. Despite being the youngest Ringbreaker to be declared Valkyrie, Sigrid has the glare of a seasoned general and scars to back it up. She sits sternly behind a mahogany desk almost as tall as she is, carefully engrossed in a copy of Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Good book. It is a show of military diligence, only slightly undercut by it being upside down. Never mind. Ask about the Ringbreakers. Why are the urchins acting like the constabulary in this port? Someone's gotta, right? Sigrid's face is a mixture of pride in her job and irritation at being questioned. Don't just be thinking we're a bunch of kids. You hear of the Valkyrie? Greatest warrior in old London she was. Yeah, well, in her name, we kicked out the old bugger that brought us to the wilderness to clean out his chimneys or whatever, and now we have a home. Can't blame us for wanting to protect it, right? Even if it is a bit damp in bits. Of course, she adds, Can't stay here forever. Rule one of the ring breakers. When you're old enough, that's when it's time to go out and find fortune out there, and find others to fill their places. All welcome. Just gotta swear by our code, and they're welcome to grab a hammock. Least as long as they don't fart too much in their sleep. Right. Ask about the monastery. It dominates the port, but stands apart from it. Never been in myself, Sigurd admits. The bohemian types in town are said to know a way, but it ain't through the front door. Anyway, without tea from the place, we'd not have much of a home. Reckon we'll keep defending it. A Valkyrie don't need thanking. Ask about Midnight's favor. She must know about the brew that made this port's name. I swear. Yeah, them snooty bohemian types let us try this stuff, Sigurd shrugs. No big problem. Nothing wrong with the juice. Not unless you drink it after brushing your teeth. Just don't brush them, that's what I say. Probably bad for them anyway, working them over like that. That's not how anything works. Ask about the War of Midnight. What's going on between the crew and the attackers? No time for tea. Sigurd's face darkens. Shouldn't have let that Amberly Murgroid get her boots dry after sliding into port. We know it's her trying to destroy the Midnight Tea, so everyone will buy Daddy's old scrappings instead. But she's tricksy, and with them claiming of hers always around, we can't go accidentally pushing her off into the marsh. But we'll get her. Oh, yeah. So it's a hostile takeover. I see. We can train with the urchins, but we only have a 28% chance of success, so we're not going to do that. Visit the brig. A series of iron bars have been welded into the stern, ready to hold anyone who might do the port harm. Prisoners of Sigrid. A mix of angry, doleful, and drunk eyes stare back at you from the darkness. All the prisoners have been stripped of their underthings. The ring breakers do their best to keep them happy by regularly throwing them boiled sweets. It doesn't appear to be working. Right. Return to the market. And let's examine a prominent statue. It sits in the middle of the dock, untouched by chalk scribbles or damaged. A couple of tattooed spice merchants lean against it, quietly eating their lunch. A statue. The mysterious founder, it can be assumed. If not, someone equally important to the market port. They look somewhat more imp than man, with a flag on their lapel that matches the crest on the nearby wreck of the Vigilant Nightingale. Peering closely, there is a plaque between the figure's feet. Someone has scratched out all the details. Perhaps the subject themselves, preferring to maintain a sense of mystery, or plausible deniability. Right, let's walk down to the monastery. The path is narrow and poorly lit. Not many venture this way. The ruined monastery. Petrified veins run down the side of this ancient structure. Two giant featureless doors block the crumbling entrance, far too large for any human to open. The metal is unfamiliar, but resilient. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said of the monastery itself. The ages have not been kind. Let's see. Speak with an impatient penitent. He beats his fist against the doors, getting nothing but bloody knuckles for his trouble. A lost love. You! He blinks tears from his eyes. You're a captain, right? You've got the look about you. Maybe you can help. My husband. He was never the same after he came back from the Z with that tattoo. The eye. That blasted eye. It drew him here, I'm sure of it. Alright. Well, we cannot demand entrance until we have one more soul flaw. So we will return to the market and keep that in mind. So one more thing to do. Head into the marshes. It is time, apparently. A pair of urchins guard the path out of the market. Into the marsh. Wouldn't, warns the older of the two. Nothing out there but plants wanting to eat your face off and water that drives you potty. But they show no interest in stopping you. The marsh beckons. The lights of the port slowly fade. Beyond lies a forested gray swamp, misted over and filled with leafless black trees that claw at the air. Few venture out here, except to gather incense from what they call Achlys' garden. There are no maps to it. Many do not return. But your head is clear. The path ahead looks manageable. You have nothing to fear. That is how you know, by the way, that you have everything to fear. Continue through the marsh, onwards and forwards in search of its secrets. The swamp slurps at your boots. The mist makes it impossible to gauge any real direction. You might have been turned around 100 times and never known it. You can cling to the tree lines, close your eyes and choose a direction, or stick to the water. Let's cling to the tree lines. They must lead somewhere. Time passes. Your explorations lead to a moment of luck. An old boat by a lake ready to carry you to slightly drier ground. In the distance, you hear what sounds like a hunting horn. Every footstep is increasingly difficult to finish. An encounter! Something looms out of the marsh mist. A gnarled statue. It is a fusion of man and an animal you hope never to see in the flesh. Its serrated talons clutching a woodwind instrument that catches the wind and makes low-pitched sounds that resonate somewhere down in your guts. The Gazette might be interested in hearing about it. Their readers have a never-ending thirst for new nightmares. Let's see. Black trees loom through the mists, their clawed branches rattling despite the lack of any noticeable wind. The mist thickens. Shadows move in the dark. The mud bubbles. The air here is poison. Oh, we don't sound that confident anymore, do we? Let's keep on going. Last time we went to the tree lines, let's stick to the water. There may be treasures under its foul surface. With no sun to guide, navigation is almost impossible. From here, you cannot even see Eleutheria's black sun looking down. Stone blocks, like gravestones, are scattered everywhere. The purpose of their memorials lost to time. A dull ache begins beating behind your temples. Let's keep on a-going. Let's close our eyes and choose a direction. It's likely to be as good as any other. For a while, you have dry land under your feet. A small forested path overgrown with vines. For a moment, things are peaceful. You are starting to feel a little fuzzy. Another encounter. Just a trick of the light. A fallen log, nothing of consequence. Edging past a fallen tree, you narrowly avoid having your hands severed by the stem of a particularly hungry plant. Your thoughts turn to the warmth of the fire on the train, and having first pick of the good meats. The marsh gas shimmers in front of your eyes. It stings. They bleed tears. Another encounter. The Queen of Hours. Someone splashes towards you through the marsh. Bent with hurry, wearing broad skirts of black and gold. The mist lifts. It can't be. It is the Empress herself, her renewed majesty, forging through with the mud with her skirts raised around her royal ankles. She looks at you. Her eyes are bright as suns. You! Have you seen a man pass? Her attention is caught by something in the mist. Albert? Dear Albert, don't wander off. She hurries in pursuit of someone you cannot see, and the mist closes hungrily between you. She is gone. Was she ever here? Black trees loom through the mist, their claws branches rattling despite the lack of any noticeable wind. Your foot splashes in something that isn't water and isn't mud. You manage not to look down. Down in the mud, a sharp pain. A snake slithers away, its killing instincts bigger than its stomach. Continue on through. The swamp slurps at your boots. The mist makes it impossible to gauge any real direction. You may have been turned around 100 times and never known it. Head towards the north. Your instincts push you in that direction. Follow the water currents. Most of the water is stagnant, but the occasional stream runs through to elsewhere. Choose a direction at random. This place defies your attempts to map it. Well, for anyone who knows the Fallen London universe, the North is only leads to good things. Only good things. No bad, only good. So we are heading north. More time passes. You take a moment for a breath of air. In another situation, this could be quite pleasant. Specifically, a warmer, drier, brighter one, and thinking of it from anywhere else in the universe. The mud under your feet bubbles furiously. The fetid smell of dead flesh rises up. You hear music in the distance. The music of Albion. The music of home. Continue onwards. Let's follow the currents. You climb down a hill to see the ground writhing. Snakes. Thousands of them. Your thoughts turn to the warmth of the fire on the train, having the first pick of good meats. Your name slips from your memory. You reach for it, repeat it, hold it tight. Let's choose a direction at random. We're only getting slight brain damage, by the way. Don't worry. A large series of sporing plants nearby do their best to bring you under their spell. The air is liquid, the floor is gas, the meat is tender. Always comforting phrases. An encounter. Bat territory. Flapping creatures with leather wings and jellied flesh surge down from on high, beating at your face with leather wings. You run for your life, only getting more lost in the marsh. You pass through what looks to be a logging site. This must be where the wood for the port came from. For a moment, things are peaceful. Everything itches. The mud looks inviting. Let's keep going. Choose a direction at random. Something cracks under your feet. Fragments of bone. Your legs ache. Everything aches. The memory of another world begins to fade. Albion, London, the Reach, the stuff of a dream, a childish fantasy. There must be something at the end of this. I will not accept failure. I'm a stubborn person. We're gonna keep going. The marsh seems to go on forever. Increasingly, it feels as if it actually might. For a moment, things are peaceful. You look around. Someone is watching. Your thoughts exposed. Your every act written down. Your every choice at the whim of some distant force. How many times have you been here? What have you done elsewhere? Oh gosh, what have they made you do? Are they talking about me? I'm sure that's nothing. I'm just going to continue torturing our character here. An encounter! Fairy lights in the water. They dance through the marsh, always just a little too far to catch, but close enough that the next grab seems certain. After a while, they fade away. Edging past a fallen tree, you nearly avoid having your hand severed with the stem of a particularly hungry plant. A series of plants nearby do their best to bring you under their spell. In a shining moment of revelation, you suddenly realize what people see in cricket. Our boy here must really be going crazy then. Another encounter. There's the renewed majesty again. Let's see, the remnants of an old bridge stretch into the mist. Most of it has already been taken by the mud. Something howls in the distance. It sounds angry or in incredible amounts of pain. For a brief moment, you glimpse the great joke of the universe. You laugh and laugh and you laugh and laugh and you laugh. Good. The maniacal laughing has begun. Only good things can come of this. Another encounter. A watery figure stretches out of the water. A siren without a rock. A mournful figure of chipped glass, cracked and shining in the light. She gazes at you with quiet helplessness, beckoning you to come closer. You can approach the mysterious lady. Her lips move, whispering something. You could hear it if you were just a little bit closer. Turn away from the mysterious lady. Even here, you know better than that. protest this tiresome cliche. Why are seductive monsters always female anyway? As much as I'd love to choose this because it's really funny, I think our character, we're just going insane. Let's just do all of the wrong things. Let's approach the mysterious lady made of glass. You step into the water, ice cold around your waist. Your hand cradles her glass touch, sharp and bloody in your palm. Illicit conversation, a more intimate touch. The darkness as the lake closes over your head and fire explodes in your lungs. You awaken elsewhere, glass chips still embedded into your palm. You pass through what used to be a logging site. This will see where the wood from the port came from. A series of large sporing plants nearby do the best to bring under the spell. The world spins out of control. Go mad! Finally, this is what we've all been working towards. We finally are here. Dreams melt behind your eyes. Your legs stretch with every new step. The cursed sun shines down, and it appears to indeed be wearing a fine new hat. Wow, incredible! Blackout. You collapse onto a comfortable patch of nettles and drift into a fitful sleep. When you awake, it's with a rope around your feet being dragged through the waterlogged mud. Your urchin rescuers shoot you a grin, but don't bother to stop. After finally getting back to the market, head pounding from the spores of the marsh and the repeated hits of rocks underneath, you realize that the price of their largesse is a notably lighter coin purse. Oh, great, we have even less money than before. That's excellent. Alright. Well, that brings us to be out of time for this episode. What an episode. I loved that last part. I always love it when my characters go insane, and that probably definitely doesn't say something about my psyche. But no, that was really fun. We're gonna have to come back once we get more soul flaws so that we can enter the monastery and see what's going on with this Midnight's Favor. Very mysterious. Next episode, it's back to the exploration, heading down over here and seeing what's in this unexplored quadrant. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I always love episodes that are more story-focused, personally. That's like the whole point of the game, right? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Just comment as well. Did you enjoy going insane with us? Well, with me? Look, I'm going insane too. I think there's multiple people in the room. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, that's about it. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.